Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to the Comfy Cozy Community Show. I mean, it kind of works still, right? Anyway, but that's not what's important. What's important is for today. Now, naturally, is question of the day. We didn't get any answers from last time, but this time we're gonna ask: did you all go to GalaxyCon? Do you have a favorite convention that you like to go to? Of course, it obviously doesn't have to be the nerdy kind that we like to go to, but do you have a favorite convention that you like to go to? And tell us a little bit about it. But anyway, apart from all that, let's go on with the show. Today, I want to talk about GalaxyCon, because that's what we did this weekend. It was the kiddo's birthday, and we got tickets to go to see GalaxyCon, and it was pretty cool. It was, all things considered, it was pretty cool. Like, starting off the day, we woke up at 6:30 in the morning, as usual. Well, 6 o'clock in the morning. Blah blah blah. Lots of talk. Anyway, we went to our breakfast we usually do on Saturdays. We have a day visitor, as it's called. We go do that every Saturday. It's great. We go and we eat breakfast at McDonald's. We've been doing this tradition for years, literally. Since 2009. But we've been doing this forever. But this time, Kiddo treated us. Kiddo was especially proud about getting to buy his breakfast, and I was happy about it too, because it was good breakfast and I didn't have to pay for it. But then we went and picked up the mom, and we were heading out to Richmond, Virginia. I've been there a grand total of 2 times in my life, and this time is the 3rd time, and I don't ever want to go back. I don't like Richmond. No offense if you like Richmond, but it was stupid. I don't like big cities, to be honest. Any big city kind of puts me off. And I know, like, oh, Hampton's kind of big, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's not really. It's not like Norfolk. Why'd I say it like that? It's not like Norfolk or Virginia Beach or anything like that. Hampton's all right. I like Hampton. But anyway, we headed out to Richmond. It was a 2-hour drive to get out there. We were anticipating this, and we're like, okay, we can get there, we get some parking. Now, this is the first time I've been to a convention of this size, and honestly, take that into account when I tell you the things that transpired next. I'm thinking we're going to get there, and we're going to get to see the Q&A for David Tennant. Oh, 1 second. Isn't that pretty cool? Cute little space person riding on a brontosaur on the moon. Or something. I like it. But we're going to go try to catch the David Tennant thing at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Suffice it to say, that didn't happen. We got to Richmond at about 10:30, and I dropped them 2 off to go to the bathroom while I went to go find a parking place. And it took me, well, let's just say I dropped them off to go to the bathroom. Half an hour later, when they were done, they just had to walk a little bit further to get back into the car. I hadn't moved at all. And then, oh my God, it took about 2 hours to get to a parking space. And that was after finding so many ones that were just full. I should have anticipated this. That's on me. I accept the blame for being stupid. But 3 hours later, we're finally in the convention. And I'm like, oh my God, that was frustrating. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're into GalaxyCon. You probably can't hear anything I'm saying right now.
Probably not. Probably not.
That's okay. But we did get in. And that's the important part. Because next, we're like, okay, let's go do some celebrity meetups. Because they got a whole bunch of celebrities over there that are charging freaking money and stuff. And oh my God, I got to meet so many people that I was never expecting to meet. Like I met Trini. I admit I only know her really by her show name, but Angela from Boy Meets World. I got to meet her. I didn't really talk to him, but Kim did. Talked to Ryder Strong. And I was mostly like, hey, how you doing? Hey, good work on the show there, dude. But I talked to Trina and Trini, and she was really cool. Ms. McGee. I should be a little bit more formal because, it's not like we're friends or anything. But it was still really cool. I was like, hey, I love you in the show. Kiddo and I have watched so many of your things and everything. And it was really cool to see her. She didn't have a line, and I felt kind of bad, but Ryder did. Not too much of one, but he had more of a line. And I guess it is kind of like a thing. We understand that this was a show from my childhood, so it's going to be a little bit less that. Will Friedle was there as well. I saw him talking to. He had a bigger line than any of them. Ms. Fisher was supposed to be. Fischel was supposed to be there too, but she didn't. She wasn't there when I was there. I'm looking for her name. Trina. I was right the first time. It was Trina. I told you it was Trina, and then your brain's like, no, it's Trini. Anyway, yeah. But Trina McGee was there, and that's the one I talked to, because I remembered her from the show, and I absolutely loved her work in it. And I know people are going to be like, but wasn't she only there for like one season? I'm like, shut up. She was not. She was there for a bit more than that. But anyway, shut up. She was cool. And of course, Ryder Strong was there, and Kim talked to him a lot. His hair still looks so good. He's only like 3 years older than me, but still, shut up. His hair looks so good for his age. I'm like, no. Why? But then, like, after him, we met Brian O'Halloran from the View Askew universe. And, Kim had met him before. Kim, the wife, by the way. Kim had met him before, and so he was, he's like, oh, yeah, I remember you. It was about 6 months ago, right? And she's like, yeah. But he was pretty cool. He seemed like a very nice guy. Pretty friendly, and whatnot. My biggest my biggest thing was, like, I wanted to see John Rice Davies. He was there, and I wanted to see him so badly, but without being pointing fingers or anything, we didn't really have the time to go and meet him. But I did manage to snag a little video of him over there.
It's John Rice Davies. He's my hero. He inspired me to love all things sci-fi. He's amazing. I got to see his face. That makes my day okay.
Luckily, Vincent D'Onofrio's booth, which was right next to it, was empty because he wasn't there at the moment. So I was able to sneak into the line for that, which wasn't open, and take video of John Rice Davies and cheese and not cheese, but nerd out for a little bit. Because that though, man, I tell you what, he was my inspiration for all my love of sci-fi back in the day. Watched Sliders. I loved that show, and it was just devastating when he left that show. It literally just like marked the end of that show for me. But yeah, he was pretty good at it. And also met Barry Bostwick. He was really cool. Like he was selling tidy whities and whatnot, and said, buy my underwear. I have 2 kids in college, and I'm like, that's hilarious. And of course, I remembered him from Spin City, and of course, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Even to this day, you can't say "damn it" without following it with Janet, and apparently that's been the same with him too. But that was cool. I really liked meeting him. Kiddo didn't really want to meet anybody, obviously, and so we kind of let Kid go about meeting some more people while we went and looked at booths. And my goodness, they had some fantastic booths. I usually grab a whole bunch of cards, but this year I only got 2 of them, and I kind of feel bad about that because I always grab like cards. But then again, like I said, we didn't really get to check out as many booths as we would have liked. There were weapon booths. There were prop weapons. There were plushies, pictures, obviously comics, books, people selling their artwork and stuff, and it was just beautiful. And I didn't get as many cards as I usually get. But then again, I was moving kind of fast, because we were running out of time, because we got photo opportunities, man. Photo opportunities for the win. We bought 2 of them. This was where the rest of the suck came from. Okay, so before we get to the photos, we were trying to find a way to eat, but obviously conventions are, well, expensive and crowded, so we didn't really end up getting any food. And we're like, I saw a Subway, and we went to go find the Subway, and the Subway had a line out the door. So we're like, no, we'll just eat these breakfast cookies that I brought with me. So we didn't eat anything. The breakfast cookies got smooshed. But we didn't eat anything the whole day. It was all right because we weren't really hungry, to be honest. And then we got in line for the photo opportunities. My God, this was the worst organization I have ever seen. It's like, apparently we were supposed to check in at this kiosk, get our thing booped, and then get our ticket. And they had no line for that. So we just had a mass of people just gathered around the front of the photo op place. What the heck is going on? And they're like, okay, if you're here for this one, go to this place. And if you're here for this one, go for this place. And we're like, but we haven't got the tickets. We don't know what we're doing. And nobody's out here really telling us anything. And then they start calling last call for Stephen Amell. And we're like, okay. And then like, if you're here for Charlie Cox, go in this line over here. And we were here for Charlie Cox. So we muscled our way in there. And after a good deal of fighting our way through the crowd and everything, we finally end up in a line to get our picture for Charlie Cox. We're going to be sitting here for the next 2 hours, mind you, 2 hours. And one of what I think was the funniest things, like Kim had a ticket to go get a picture with David Tennant. And so she had to ditch us about halfway through. And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of disappointed I'm not going to get to meet David Tennant. But it's fine. It's fine. Because I want to make sure the kid's having a good day. Because the kid's birthday. It's what the whole reason we're here is the kid's birthday. So it's like, I don't care. I'm not going to fight it. But she ditched us halfway through it. And then, out of freaking nowhere, I'm standing here. And John freaking Barrowman, Captain Jack Harkness himself, comes walking out. I'm so stunned, I don't even think to pull out my phone. But he comes out, and he's explaining to us all what's happening. And I'm not talking about like he's standing at the front of the crowd telling everybody what's happening. No, he's walking down the aisle. Like, he literally stopped within me petting him distance. I could go like this on his back if I wanted to, as he's explaining to it. And I'm like, ah. John Barrowman walking within 2-3 inches of me, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't usually cheese out when it comes to celebrities, but the fact that he was there. And I have 2 things to say about that. One, that man is a nice guy. I mean, I'm surprised he was out there explaining it, and he was very calm, level-headed, having fun, joking about it, because there were 2 people behind. Apparently it was William Shatner's fault. I don't know what happened for sure, but yeah. And number 2 is, I am so glad there wasn't a stampede, because he was literally just walking down the lines of people, and I'm like, huh. I wish I would have brought my phone out. Like, I had so many thoughts racing through my head when he walked out there next to me, and I was like, flirt with him, tell him a joke, touch, don't touch John Barrowman, just let him go, let him do his thing, don't be mean about it. And I wanted to offer a hug too, but I'm like, no, if I do that, then I'm going to trigger some sort of a stampede. Everybody's going to want to give him a hug. And I'm like, okay. And that's another example of just how badly organized this was. If they have the stars coming out to explain what's going on. And I'm thinking he probably did that himself. Like, nobody told him to do that. He probably just went out and did it because, that's John Barrowman. But yeah. But anyway, an hour after that, we finally get in to get our picture with Charlie Cox. I'll probably put up a better one than that. But we were there for 2 seconds. We literally hopped up there, put our arms around him. Well, kiddo just T-Rex armed, and then I put my arm around him, and then took our picture, and then we bolted, and then it was still really cool though. I was like, cool. Also, didn't realize Charlie Cox was Irish. But as soon as he started talking, I was like, what? But he's actually a really cool guy. Like he's having fun. And it was funny because I was worried that I'd be a bit too tall for him. So I crouched down a little bit. And, turns out I'm 1 inch taller than Charlie Cox. And David Tennant, apparently. I have a picture of that's going to go in so you can see Kim taking a picture with David Tennant. But apparently as soon as she popped her head in, he's like, get over here, Jessica. And it's like, that was her moment to cheese out for it. She was so happy. And it was funny because Kiddo was miserable for basically that entire time. But as soon as the line started moving, Kiddo's mood just went pew, and she was so excited because she loved that. She loved the Daredevil show. We all love the Daredevil, and Charlie Cox is a good actor and whatnot. And of those Netflix original ones, Daredevil was definitely the kiddo's favorite. And then after we were done there, Kiddo and I went back to looking at booths. I was gonna go hang out with Kim so I could get in and see Tenet 2, but I was like, no, this is Kids Day, so we're gonna go do what Kid wants to do, and Kiddo wants to do booths, and I'm like, yes, let's go do booths. And we had some fun looking at some cool booths and some cool plushies. Unfortunately, Kiddo had brought all of the money that had accumulated, but it was all on cards. And this was another thing that really irked me about the convention is there was like no internet connection, no service in the entire building, and it was horrible. Like even just trying to send a text message from me to Kim just wasn't working. And then so we couldn't buy anything with a card. The kiddo ended up only getting one thing, and that was a candle, because that's the only thing we really had cash for. So we got the candle, and it was a good candle. Don't get me wrong. And I really should have grabbed their cards because their candles were, so good. Excuse me. One second. Focus. 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 There we go. Danny Candles. They don't seem to have a website on here. But that's who did the candles, and they smell terrific. This one is lemon. It's kind of like lemon cookies. So cute. So cute. So sweet. But yeah. We were ready to leave. We got our pictures. We didn't have anything else to buy, so we're like, all right, let's bounce. We ended up walking out and going to the car and heading home. But we stopped at a rest stop, which was kind of funny, because another instance of Kiddo tried to buy something, but the machine wouldn't work. Swipe the card and it's like beep, and it's like choose your selection, and it's like no buttons popped up. It's like, how am I supposed to choose my selection? Poor Kiddo. Also, they were selling hats out of a vending machine. I mean, it was a Virginia rest stop, so it's like, come buy our hats. We love our hats. We love our Virginia. But overall, that was our experience at GalaxyCon. Overall, a net positive. We had fun, and that was the important part. And Kiddo enjoyed herself, with the exception of, the big crowds and whatnot. And there were some pretty cool cosplays. Saw Barf at one point, and of course some Star Trekkies. It was kind of funny because there was a group of 3 Trekkies who were walking with a Jedi at one point. And it was funny. We ran across them as they were parting ways, and I was like, oh, it's such a beautiful moment seeing 2 sides come together. I also got to talk with a former Marine. She was awesome. Did a lot of, I should have got pictures of that because that was a really cool stand. It was a lot of metalwork stuff done, and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, overall, good experience. That part with the photo ops could have gone so much smoother if somebody would have been organizing something. But apart from that, overall good. Okay, that's the topic for today. So now I have announcements. Not really a whole lot of announcements. I am still working my way through Miles Morales. I figured I'd been done by now, but a lot closer than I was before. Maybe 3 more episodes. Apparently there's still some collectibles I haven't even unlocked yet, so that's going to be exciting. But yeah, nothing much beyond that. Yeah, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of The Community Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you just can poke that like button for me, if you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Oh, and I can't, if I can, you know, all the jazz, and tune in next time for another topic, another time. Until then,